Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. Another episode here of Victoria L. Women's Holistic Health Podcast. I am your host, Victoria, and we are here to talk strategy of all things about being a woman and our well being. So today, I have an incredible guest. I am very honored that Christina Whitley is here to join us. She's going to help us dive into burnout, and particularly, we're going to talk a little bit more about burnout in the realm of network marketing. Um, we are here to be real, to be upfront, to be candid about what is going on. I love Christina because she just brings it like it is and tells you like it is, which I absolutely adore her for. And she's here to help you guys and help me just navigate this whole thing. And Christina, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. I'm honored. And I guess I should introduce you officially before we delve into the topic. So I met Christina a couple months ago. I actually started with your Accelerated Business Academy, and I absolutely love it. Christina is a business coach for entrepreneurs, and she just brings it like it is, like I said, and really, really helped me to find clarity in what I wanted to bring to the table in my business. So Christina, welcome. Again, I'm honored to have you here. And I would love for you to just share a little bit about who you are and tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Victoria. I'm honored to be here. I love having these conversations. I think, the more we can enlighten women in business and empower them and make them not feel so alone for the things that they have to go through, the challenges, the adversity that they have to go over, normalize those things, I think the better. I've had an entrepreneurial spirit since I was a little kid. I started my first business when I was 7 and, continued to have business ideas over and over and over again. And it wasn't typical in my family. I was raised in a blue collar family. My dad worked for BC Hydro. My mom was a home care nurse. And so their idea of stability was getting a job, had a pension and healthcare, work out the rest of your days until you can happily retire on a pension. But that isn't really possible for our generation.
Not at
It's
all.
this lie that we've been sold. And I just kind of wanted to flip that on its head and do what I wanted to do, because working 40 years at a job that I simply didn't have passion for sounded like a death sentence to me. And I just want to also say that my parents had my best interest. It wasn't that they were trying to hinder me. It wasn't that they were trying to give me bad advice. They just wanted me to be able to take care of myself. And that's what they were taught. But we're in a completely different world right now. And so I went to school. I was told, right? I went to post-secondary for music, actually, because it was the only thing I was passionate about. And 5 years into that, I realized I don't want to be a starving artist. I want to have children. I wanted to be a present parent and a conscious parent. I am a mom of a daughter that's almost 8, and I'm pregnant. I'm 9 months pregnant right now, like any day now with my son. So really excited about that. I was a hairstylist for many, many years. I came out of music school and wanted to find something that I could do and work from home. So I was a hairstylist for 11 years, owned my own salon and on-site wedding business, loved it, but really hard on your body. I'm sure that you've worked with hairstylists before, and your body's a mess because it's really hard work and you're constantly being exposed to chemicals all the time. So it messed with my hormones like you wouldn't believe. And then, as life would have it, I had my daughter and I wanted more freedom and flexibility. I didn't want to work evenings and weekends. I really, truly wanted to be that present mom. I wanted to have beach days and go camping and road trips and do all those fun things. But being in the wedding industry, I had to work every single Saturday and Sunday, and I worked evenings. And I was like, this is not how I want to show up as a mom. So if I want my life to change, I'm going to have to do something different. I'm going to have to change what I'm doing to create a different lifestyle. And that's really what I teach people how to do now, is create a business that's in alignment with your purpose, alignment with your lifestyle, the things that you love to do, the things that you're good at, and create an income around it, right? So that when you get out of bed every morning, you're actually excited to get out of bed. It's something that you look forward to, working with your clients, having conversations, helping them deep dive into stuff that maybe be challenging for them, but just need another perspective, or maybe just even a little bit of belief poured into them that day, saying, hey, you can do this. Sometimes that's all we need. And so when my daughter was born, 3 weeks after she was born, I had tried to find somebody in the salon space to cover me. I had a really bad shoulder injury. I wasn't able to continue working, and I was freaked out because I didn't have mat leave. I was self-employed, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I got into network marketing. And at the time, I didn't even know what it was. So I had no idea. All I knew was I was getting up pregnant, sick at 5 a.m., going and driving to these weddings somewhere on the island. And I saw this woman on social media who I had known from way back in the day when I was a bartender. She would come in with her friends, and I knew she was a house cleaner. And I saw her sitting at the beach with her kids, with her phone in hand, making $20,000 a month. And all I could think is, what have I done wrong in this life to not be living that life?
Yeah.
Like, there is something wrong here. And so I had this vision. A lot of people look at network marketing with a stigma, and I'm so excited that we're going to talk about it today, because I'm a firm believer in residual income and multiple streams of income. And I do believe there are a lot of really great products out there and really great companies out there, but you have to know how to build business. And that's why I'm so excited we're having the conversation about burnout, because in my first company, I did burnout. I worked and worked and worked. I worked till 2 a.m. I did the spammy cold messages, sending 100 of those a day. I did everything that was required to get to that $20,000 a month mark. And I did that within a year. I was able to retire my husband. He was able to come home, be a stay-at-home dad. We left the city. We moved to a 10-acre hobby farm, and we got to live our dream, right? But there was one problem. I had very bad anxiety. So when I started making that kind of money, my money mindset did not match what I was making. And so you will never out earn what you believe you're worth. And so I would get up in the morning, I'd be sick to my stomach. I'd have a hard time cashing these grotesquely big paychecks, which is crazy because most people think I'm living my dream. Like, this is amazing, right? And I kept saying, everything is right. Why do I feel like it's wrong? And so there's a good way and a bad way to do business. And that was something I truly had to grow through. And I had to grow my worth, and I had to grow my confidence, and I had to grow my communication skills before everything else caught up. And now, not only do I advocate for that industry, but I also advocate for business and multiple streams of income. I do not think you should have all your eggs in one basket. That's a very dangerous place to be, especially right now. And so about 2 years ago, we moved our family from Canada to Mexico. We've been here for 2 years. My daughter goes to school here. My husband does real estate here. I run a few businesses, and life is pretty darn good.
Yeah. I'm so jealous. Like,
you gotta come visit and get down here, right? We'll figure it out.
No, I'm looking out the window. There's a snowstorm happening, and you're like, "We're in Mexico."
I'm in a tank top.
I only got 12 layers on.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that we're actually having this conversation about the burnout. I talked about it a couple weeks ago on the podcast on how, and I like that you referenced about your worth, right? That was my biggest thing with my with trying to grow in network marketing is I didn't see that I was worthy enough on my own without it and all these things. So there was a lot of things to work through there. And as I kind of reflected back over that, I really saw the roller coaster that comes along with this industry if you're not with the mindset, if you're not growing, like you said, in business as well as with the money and everything else that comes along with it. And so the burnout is one of those things that's really a very familiar companion for a lot of the women that sign up, that I know of, that have signed up into network marketing. And I would love it if you can you share with us a little bit of maybe the observations that you've had in the industry around the burnout, especially what you've noticed for women, and maybe how to navigate that a little better than what we seem to have been doing the last couple of years.
Well, here's the thing, right? People get into network marketing and they need to make some extra money, right? So usually the focus is on making money. The focus is on sales. And so we often do whatever we can to get that sale. And sometimes that doesn't feel good. Sometimes we do things that don't sound or feel like us. And often when we're acting out of alignment, that starts the whole process of burnout because we're not actually operating in our purpose and in our truth. And so there's a difference in working for money and working for purpose. And you also have to think about the long-term game that network marketing is. I've been in the industry for 8 years. I have a lot of friends that are top earners like myself, and anybody that is making, significant money, it usually takes like 5-10 years. But, I've had a woman on my podcast that started a business for $500 and then 10 years later sold it for 100 million. Right.
Yeah.
I also know people in the network marketing space that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but they did not get there overnight. And most people have an entrepreneur or have an employee mindset versus entrepreneur mindset where they think that they're trading dollars for hours or dollars for time or dollars for sales. And you have to get rid of that. And you have to start working in purpose. You have to start thinking about who you can help and how you can help them and commit to the long-term vision of that. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out over time instead of pacing yourself. This is what most people do. They get in and they do all of this work and then they get burnt out and they stop. They're like, I can't do it anymore. And then they go in and they do all this work again and they burnt out. And they're like, I can't do it anymore. And the other thing about it is like you're constantly dealing with different personality types and different people. So if you lack communication skills and you are not good with dealing with people and manage it, it can be really detrimental to your mental health because you're going to have to deal with all different kinds. And if you don't have the strength to create a strong culture where drama and negativity and all that kind of stuff is non-existent, then that stuff can seep in and be very, very draining if you have to show up with that every day. One of my friends says, the thing that I love the most about network marketing is the people. The thing I hate the most about network marketing is the people, right? Yeah. Because you're constantly dealing with different types of people. And so I think when it comes to burnout, it's about learning how to pace yourself. Look, success is uphill all the way, all the time. And so if you learn to pace yourself and simply set daily norms, right? You're way better off to set, daily norms that are low and take you half an hour a day to do. And that's really, the thing that people get upset about with network marketing is that it doesn't happen fast enough, but also they don't commit to the long-term process because they end up working in stints around sales, around whatever, and they're not working to serve people that they truly want to help, as opposed to just making the sale. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so when you face burnout, often it's because you don't use the correct DMO, daily method of operation. You're not doing the correct activities to get the outcome, which really is creating some sort of marketing and growing your network every day, reaching out and creating conversation with people every day. And I don't mean like pitching them on the sale the moment that you start speaking to them. I mean like actually getting to know people and building that relationship. And I remember when I first started network marketing, I was like, that's not what I wanted to hear. I just wanted to get the numbers down, right? I just wanted to get the numbers in so that I could make the money and move forward. And although that worked for a little while, it wasn't long-term sustainable. And then following up with people and nurturing people and being there for them. And here's the key. You're never trying to convince people of a sale. You're helping them go towards a decision that is best for them, not what's best for you, but what's best for them. Yeah. And so in that environment, a lot of people burn out, but it's also because they don't have proper systems set in place. They don't have duplication, right? Duplication is the name of the game in network marketing. People find this very boring. They, and they're like, well, I can do that, or you can do that, or we don't have to do this. No, duplication is absolutely the name of the game. And if you can get people to duplicate what you're doing in a system that is proven to work, you have a winning team. But most people don't have that set up. And that's why they face burnout, because they think they have to be everything to everyone. They think they have to be the guru. They think they have to know it all. And you don't. You absolutely don't. You just need a proven system that works.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge part of it. So many of the people I know that have, put the products down, walked away from the industry, they literally thought they had to do all of it and couldn't, outsource or, ask for help in any sort of part of it. And I know for myself, I too was like, well, I got this. I know I build business all the time. I know what I'm doing. So it's definitely part of it. And like you said, building that team and building a team of people that you feel supported and cared for, and you can't be a people pleaser if you're building a decent team. You have to put boundaries in place, right? So there's a lot of that there, and I think your advice it like transcends not just network marketing. These are things that if you're building a business in any sort of way, these are things that we really need to have in place to help you avoid that burnout, no matter if it's network marketing or, you know, if you're selling courses or whatever it is that you're doing. It's really an important thing. And so I really appreciate that you've kind of shed some light on there. And given us some good strategies to try and move forward there. And yeah, I thought I like to kind of throw a little loop into my podcast and just do like a question round to throw things in the mix a little bit. So I thought we could do a couple really fun questions, and then we'll get back to the serious side of things. So are you ready for a rapid fire question?
Let's do it.
All right. So first question, are you a morning person or a night owl?
I used to
Totally
be a night owl.
now that you're pregnant, right?
Yeah, I used to be a night owl, and I used to stay up really, really late. But now with my daughter, I am a morning person, and I say that, and I still get up an hour later than my husband, which is like 7 a.m.
Well, that's morning still, so
Right.
Okay, one wellness tip that you swear by for you.
Oh, I need sunshine in my life. I need a lot of sunshine in my life. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, I agree. Your guilty pleasure snack.
Oh, Lay's plain potato chips.
Yeah, definitely. And if you could have dinner with one person, doesn't have to be alive, just one person that you could sit down and pick their brain over dinner, who would you pick?
You know, that's such a hard question, but and my answer might surprise you. And it kind of surprises me too, but really, if I was going to sit down with one person and have dinner, I think I'd sit like as a historical figure, as somebody that like was around for a while. I'd probably sit down with Jesus. Like, yeah, you know, man, like I would like really like to have a conversation with him and be like, what the heck is going on in this world right now? Like, can you give me some insight?
I feel you on that one. Yeah, I think that thing.
Back. There she is.
What happened?
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. Just decided I wasn't here.
Didn't like my answer, I guess.
We can't talk about Jesus here.
Lord.
Oh God. All right. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, I would love to get a little bit more insight from you for everyone on what you do with everyone. So we've talked about, you know, the network marketing and a couple really great tips there. But you are a giant wealth of amazing knowledge. And I would love for you to share with everyone, like, what is it that you do? What kind of solutions do you provide? How are you, I find you're really stepping up into the realm of helping women, especially, battle this burnout and find passion and connection to themselves. So would love for you to just like tell us what you do. How do we find you? What's the best way to get connected with you, and what are you offering everyone these days?
Thank you. You know, I just see that there's a huge need for female leadership out there, because if you really start to think about it, we're role models for our kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to be the best and biggest role model in my child's life. I think that we in society have given too much power to other authorities, the schools or daycare providers or whatever. And that's no fault of our own. Like both parents have to work these days. The family unit isn't together as much anymore. So my huge passion is helping people create business around their desired lifestyle. If they want to be at home with their kids and be able to make money with their kids, I want to show you that you can have a thriving career, right? You can be an entrepreneur, mm-hmm. and you can really work in your zone of genius every day and show your kids actually how to create happiness, as opposed to settling for something that maybe isn't as motivating or isn't as inspiring for you. I think that you have the time to be a great wife and be able to be a conscious parent and raise your kids and have deep conversations with them and do fun things that create these
Mm-hmm.
core memories. Like you are the driver of your life. You are writing the chapters right now, and every decision that you make leads to the life that you live. And I also believe in taking time for yourself. I believe in having your own passions. I love to travel, whether that's with business or with my family. I love spending time at the beach, whether that's by myself or with my family. Just
Mm-hmm.
taking time out and giving yourself permission to take time out. And so,
Yeah.
although I created a lot of wealth and residual income through network marketing, which I still do to this day, and I love mentoring people that way. What I felt called to do was to raise the bar and work with entrepreneurs and work with higher level professionals that maybe were not happy with where they were. Or maybe they had a business
Mm-hmm.
idea and they didn't know how to execute it. They didn't know how to develop it. They didn't know how to create an online presence, which, by the way, if you were anybody in business, you should have a personal brand right now, or you should be building a personal brand. Maybe they
Yeah.
didn't know how to monetize their skills. Maybe they didn't know how to make more money doing what they do, right? Maybe they just didn't see an avenue of adding another stream of income. And I can
Mm-hmm.
do that through the Accelerated Business Academy in about 90 days. And you've been proof of that, right? Like what you've
Yeah.
produced in your cookbook and what you're, the
Yeah.
community that you're growing and everything. Like that's my joy, is to see other people work in their purpose and create this like ripple effect of impact. And then
Mm-hmm.
I also have another program called the 6-Figure Profit Plan. So people that have created this income and they want to scale it, they want to grow it, they have proof of concept in their business, and I want to help people create that 6-figure or multiple 6-figure business and be able to thrive in that space without
Mm-hmm.
burning out, right? With
Yes.
having this elusive balance everybody talks about, right?
Right.
I want to show them that that is possible for you.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of the two things I'm focusing on. I do have a higher level mastermind. If you are somebody that is already very successful in what you do and you're just looking to become a market leader in your space, we got a ton of attention when we moved from Canada to Mexico. We've had international press. I just earned an international award, the Business Freedom
Mm-hmm.
Leader Award from the International Association of Top Professionals. And so I just want to show people that they have a seat at the table,
Yeah.
that like I'm a small town girl, right? Like I dropped out of university 2 credits short of my degree. I designed the life that I wanted, and I dreamed of being able to live abroad. I dreamed of being able to fly around the world and travel with my family and experience different cultures. I just didn't know exactly how that was going to unfold. But what I learned is that I'm in control of that, and I'm
Yeah.
constantly co-creating with the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly making decisions that are going to allow me to live the life that I want. And it's not about having this big grandiose vision for your life, although that's helpful to have a North Star. It's about knowing what's the next right thing for you right
Mm-hmm.
now. What do you need to do right now to make yourself happy? What do you need to do right now to make money? When you're raising kids, when they're really little, it's going to be different than when they're teenagers or when they're out of the
Yeah.
house. And you have to honor those steps as a
Yeah.
mom. You truly have to honor those chapters of your life. And, I'm 40 years old and I'm having a second baby. And what I did with my first, I won't repeat
Yeah.
with my second, because I worked really hard. I wore my hard work as a badge of honor, and I burnt out, and I wasn't as present as I wanted to be. I did have a bit of
Mm-hmm.
postpartum and didn't realize it
Yeah.
for some time. Okay. So there were things that I went through, but now I'm hyper aware of those things because I've grown over the last 8 years, and I refuse to give up those things that are so precious to me, and neither should
Yeah.
you, right? And so I want to teach people that you can have it all. And the only way that you can do that is by being an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest takeaways that well, there's a ton of takeaways that I took from the course with you, but one of the biggest things was the fact that you always talked about building your life around what you want, right? So if you only want
Mm-hmm.
to work a couple hours a day, then build a life that you can do that, instead of this other idea that I'm going to burn out and then maybe one day down the road I'll have the life that I want, right? Like make it now. And that was a really big takeaway for me from your course. And I really appreciate having you here. I really appreciate that you're straight up, you're honest, you tell it like it is. And as we close up here today, I just want to thank you again so much for being here and sharing a little bit of your story, sharing what you do, and giving a little bit of really amazing advice to help. Maybe, maybe there's a mom out there that's considering doing some network marketing or considering starting a business and feeling lost and not really sure, or looking at other people and saying, well, everyone else is burning out, so I don't want to be in that space. Maybe give them some hope that you can actually do this without burning out, right? So I really appreciate that you
Absolutely.
are here and that you've offered us this. And as we close out, I would love if there's any last little tidbits of information or an amazing little power line that you have just to share with everybody, and then we will close up our session today.
Sounds great, Victoria. So if you want to find me or find my program, it's ChristinaWhiteley.com. You can also find me on social media and send me a message. Would love to have a conversation with you if you're considering business and any way that I can support you and help. Conversation costs nothing, but it could be the seed that's planted that allows you to make a different decision to propel your life forward. And usually it's the thing that you're not doing right now that you keep thinking about. That's the thing that's holding you back from the next level of your life. And so I always say, be bold, be brave, and be disruptive, because you are capable of things far beyond your wildest dreams if you just have the courage
Thanks
to go
you
for it.
so much for being here, Christina. I will make sure that all of the connections for Christina are in the show notes, so you guys can just click the links and find her. Like she said, her website is ChristinaWhiteley.com, and she's all over social media, so you definitely find her if you put her name in a search bar. Thank you so much again for being here, and until next time, we will talk again.